So coming out of college, I proceeded to do every parent's nightmare after 4 years of paying for college. Rather than going to make money, I was going to go ask for money. I went on staff with the campus ministry. The way it worked, I was responsible for raising my entire budget. Salary, insurance, travel, office supplies. The amount I had to raise was $26,520. That amount was like burned in my brain, will be burned in my brain forever. And for like 5 or 6 months, I prayed and prayed like I'd never prayed before. And then an amazing thing happened, really just a few short months. All of it came in, it was awesome, and me and my parents, we all heaved a huge sigh of relief. Welcome to Sunday's Best 3 Minutes, where we're not doing a fundraising seminar, but we are taking one big idea from Sunday's message and bringing it to you in a portable package. So a not so funny thing happened once I had that money raised. In the years that followed, I still had fundraising I had to do, but I was much less prayerful about it, much less sort of anxious and kind of engaged with it, until several years later when the Great Recession hit, and suddenly that drove me to prayer all over again. And this pattern of crisis leading me into greater spiritual engagement, while comfort or ease dulling me spiritually, is something unfortunately I see all over my life. We see it in the scriptures, and my guess is you might see it in your life too. But David in Psalm 21 writes a song that helps us. He celebrates God's hand in giving him victory on the battlefield. He writes this: "The king rejoices in your strength, Lord. How great is his joy in the victories you give." Now the rest of the psalm goes on to celebrate God's work in the midst of what looks like David's victories. See, the most important question hanging over David's life on the other side of success is, what will David do with God once he gets the wins he's dreamed of? Because once we get the wins that we want, many of us become self-satisfied or stuff-satisfied. We drift from God and don't think we need him all that much until, of course, the next crisis hits, and then we pray all over again. For many of us, God's blessings and our own personal successes have the potential to be the single most devastating thing that could ever happen to us. It's like the warped wall at the end of the American Ninja Warrior course. You can beat all kinds of obstacles on your spiritual journey, but this one at the end can totally do you in unless we find some way that success and victories can contribute to our relationship with God like he intends it to, rather than having it distract us from God, as it so often does. So this week I want to invite you to pray along with David and maybe swap out some pronouns and nouns. I rejoice in your strength, Lord. How great is my joy in the victories that you give. And then spend some time rattling off whatever wins have come your way the last couple weeks. Maybe a job that got done on time, a good conversation with your spouse or your kids. Maybe you overcame a personal fear or obstacle. Maybe you got the raise. Whatever wins you can possibly think of, take a few minutes this week to learn this discipline of how to overcome really what's been the single greatest spiritual obstacle for all of humanity for all time, the obstacle of success. Thanks so much for watching us this week on Sunday's Best 3